Hey everyone, this is Misti-Dawn with the Manamal Streaming Radio, and I'm here talking to Daniel Kluter, drummer for the band The Rumours. Thanks so much for joining me today. Daniel, how's it going?
Going great. We're just getting ready to go for our tour here really soon.
Pretty exciting,
I must say.
Pretty excited about that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Now, before we get started, could you name all the members of the bands and what they do?
Yeah, we got Carly Fox, lead vocals and rhythm guitar. And we have Ella Rose on bass guitar. And she does some vocals as well. And To The Do on lead guitar and myself on drums.
Nice. You guys are really amazing. I've really been listening to you the last couple of days preparing for this interview, and I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you. You got the hot bang record, huh?
Oh yeah. Now, how did you guys know each other prior to the band, or was it all just kind of, maybe applying for a position and you came together that way?
Carly started the band in, I believe, 2014. And she had a couple different lineups before what we have now. And her and Ella were like best friends coming up through school and everything. So eventually she was able to get Ella on bass. And Stu came into the picture pretty much at that same time, or maybe right after that. And then I was the last one to join, actually. So I'm still the new guy. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I've been in the band for it's been like 2.5 years now. And it's been the four of us ever since.
That's great. Now, when I hear you guys, I can hear a lot of different nods to several rock icons, I'd say. Can you share some of the musical influences, that the band as a whole listens to?
Oh yeah, like you said, it's quite a bit of stuff. I know Carly is a huge, Joan Jett fan. So we have a lot of that going on, and the Runaways, and stuff like that. We kind of blend the 70s and some 90s stuff together. Urge Overkill, Local H, some bands like that. And then we have, myself, who's like a huge Motley Crue fan. So we have some of the big rock from like the 80s kind of mixed in there as well. And Stu's a huge, Randy Rhoads, guitar freak, Black Sabbath, and we have Zeppelin thrown in there. Yeah. We kind of, really honestly a good mixture from like, the 70s, rock, classic rock, glam rock kind of thing,
Right.
And we kind of blend a little bit of everything from the 70s up till now, really. So we kind of cover all bases.
Carly puts me in mind of a mixture of Joan Jett and Lizzie Hale. Her voice is amazing.
Oh yeah. She has the aggressiveness of both of those, and some sweetness as well. So yeah, we hear that a lot. We hear a lot of the Lizzie Hale and Joan Jett. But I mean, what else would you want from a female vocalist, right?
Absolutely, like to get a combination. Yeah.
Plays guitar as well, so got that going on.
Now, have any of you been in previous bands before the Rumours?
Oh yeah, I actually played another band called Lionheart, which I've been doing for quite a few years now. So I've done some other things as well. Stu's got some other projects going on, and Carly does sometimes she'll do some like acoustic shows, just her with herself. So she's done a little bit of that. She's had a couple years ago. I think she had a couple little bands that she had, and with Ella, I believe this is the only band she's ever had. So Yeah.
Now, do any of you have any musical families?
Yeah. I come from my brother. He's actually used to play guitar in my other band. And my mom used to do some years and years ago. My mom did some singing and took some piano lessons, and she was actually she ended up becoming a representative for the Loretta Lynn fan club.
Oh,
So
wow.
back in like the 80s and 90s, my mom did some of that stuff. So, and that's really, a lot of it right there as far as family stuff. To my knowledge, I don't really know if the girls have any, if their families were really musical. Maybe a little bit, but we definitely, us four, kind of take the reins on that. So with our families, anyway. His brother plays drums, and he plays drums a little bit, and that's about it, really. So.
All right. Now, you guys were. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, our families have a little bit of, definitely have some musical background overall.
That's great. Now, you guys were signed to Kivel Records label towards the end of last year. That had to be pretty exciting for you guys. How did that all come about? I mean, how were you notified that Kivel was interested?
Yeah, that was great. So a gentleman in Illinois by the name of Bob Long, he was putting together a show in Illinois this would have been last summer of 2017. And so we played that show, and that was, I believe, his first time really seeing us, and pretty much just fell in love with us, and got our music and stuff, and became a real fan of us. Well, then he was able to get us onto the Rock and Skull Festival, which was in October. Well, he still happened to be good friends with Kivel Records, and Kivel Records had a few bands that were on the Rock and Skull bill as well. So Bob Long put us in touch with the label kind of leading up to Rock and Skull.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were in touch, and we're kind of starting to talk about some stuff, about some possibilities. And so going into the Rock and Skull Festival, it was pretty much, for us, it was pretty much kind of a showcase.
Right.
Because we knew that they were going to be there, checking us out and everything. And so we ended up we just went up and killed it. We had really one of the best shows that we've had so far, good timing there, so, and then after our set, the label approached us, and we had a little powwow and all that, and then from there we just got the ball rolling, and we ended up going out to Massachusetts in December, and they set us up with a real nice hotel for a couple days, and we ended up signing the deal out there, and we did a photo shoot with Jeremy Staffer, who's done all kinds of rock, magazine covers, and he's shot almost about every rock band you can think of right now. He's done, a lot of the newer bands, and then he's done, some of the older bands like Alice Cooper. He shot photos, for him, Metallica, so yeah, we did this photo shoot with him, which was amazing, and which would actually be the press shot that you see of us that's on the album and everything. That was from that photo shoot. So, but yeah, so all that went down in December, and then Hot Bang came out in May, and we're out promoting that right now.
That's great. I mean, that must, I can't even imagine how that feeling when you're signing, the name to a contract with somebody, that's going to make your dreams come true. That's I'm so happy for you guys is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's really great, and it's a really cool label and a cool family, and they will 100% back us, and they're
Yeah.
very pro artists. They're not out to get you, so to speak, like you hear a lot about other labels.
Right.
So
Well, they've been in
we're in a really good spot.
they've been to what, 20 years? This is their anniversary this year, right?
Yeah, this year is Kivel Records 20 years this year. They're doing the New England Rock Fest. That's kind of the celebration for the 20-year anniversary.
Well, they're doing something right if they're doing 20 years. Now, are you guys playing at the New York or the New England Rock Fest?
Yeah, the New England Rock Fest is in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
I used to live there.
August. What's that?
I used to live there.
Yeah, it's August 17th and 18th, so it's coming up in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And and so the headliner on the 17th is Mr. Big. I'm sorry, Eric Martin from Mr. Big.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll have his solo band with him. He's a singer from Mr. Big, so he has a solo band, and he's headlining on the first night of the Rock Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same night that we're going to be playing. And then the second night, Firehouse is headlining, and we're going to be there hanging out, causing trouble on that night as well. So we'll be there for both days. But pretty much most of the bands from Kivel Records are going to be playing on the festival, and then you got your two headliners of Firehouse and Eric Martin from Mr. Big. So yeah, it's going to be rad. It's going to be a really cool weekend.
That's good. Good luck. Break a leg while you're out there for sure. Now let's get into Hot Bang. When was the original release of this record?
The original release? Well, let's see. We recorded that in I think it was December of 2016, and then we put it out ourselves in, I think it was the spring of 2017. And yeah, we recorded that here in Iowa. We just went to a studio in Marion, Iowa, and we produced it ourselves. We just went in there and just hammered it out, pretty much right off the floor. Very raw, as you can tell. And the original release was a 9-track album. And then so that's the original. We did some touring last summer behind that, and then the whole Kivel Records thing happened, and then we went back in and recorded a cover version of These Boots Are Made for Walking, and so Kivel Records re-released Hot Bang, and then it has the extra track on it, the cover song, and then it has a ton of all the artwork is completely different. Has a huge CD booklet and all the lyrics, all kinds of photos and everything. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, do you all contribute to the songwriting, or is it mainly Carly?
Yeah, Carly is the main writer. There's a few tunes that kind of happened just kind of in the spur of the moment, kind of off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few songs that were written just right there on the spot. Someone will start playing a riff or something, and we'll just start jamming on it. Carly's really good at trading melody and lyrics, and so there's some songs that did happen like that, but there's also some songs that she pretty much wrote maybe at home, and she would bring it to rehearsal, and then we just kind of work it out. There's a few tunes that her and I kind of maybe work out ahead of time, and then we'll take those to the band. There's a song it's the first song on the record called I Want Your Love, Want Your Drug. And that was kind of one of those things where she basically wrote the skeleton of it, showed it to me, and then I kind of came up with a couple of ideas, and we got together, her and I threw it together, and then we, showed it to the band, and then it just kind of took off from there. And there's an interesting story with that particular song. Classic Rock Magazine reached out to us last year. We've got an email from one of the writers for Classic Rock, and they wanted to include I Want Your Love in August 2017 Classic Rock Magazine. They have their little CD sampler that they put in every issue of the magazine. It comes out every month,
Right.
And so I think it was August of last year, they reached out to us for the compilation CD, and it was 17 rising new bands, and they discovered us on Bandcamp and asked if they could use that song, and we were just blown away. 70,000 copies of that magazine go out each month worldwide.
Wow.
So that was amazing. And then they liked it enough to where they put us on the best of 2017 issue as well on another compilation CD. And that one had like Alice Cooper on it, Black Star Riders, and then some newer bands like ourselves. So that was really cool. So we were in Classic Rock Magazine twice last year.
That's amazing. I mean, for a band that has not been around a very, very long time, that's impressive.
Yeah, and like I said, we just went in and banged out this dirty little record, and all of a sudden we get picked up, with Kivel Records, and the Classic Rock Magazine wants us, for their stuff, and it's been a heck of a ride so far.
I guess so. Now, what was the first track you laid down?
What was the first track we recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, the first track we actually recorded was "Let's Get It On."
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, there's actually we have two music videos. Obviously you can find on YouTube. We have a video for "Let's Get It On" and a video for "I Want Your Love," which is a song that was in Classic Rock, and both of those songs are on the Hot Bang album.
That's great.
Now, all you YouTube freaks out there can go check our music videos out.
They will. I've already done it. So.
There you go.
Now, how did the title come about?
Hot Bang?
Yeah.
I think if I remember right, I think a friend of the band a couple years ago, like, I don't know, that little term or someone was always saying "hot bang," like that just kept coming up. So it was just kind of like, yeah, we need to name the record that, and we also have a song with the same title, and the title track actually was one of those songs that just kind of happened, right off the cuff one day. Stu brought in a guitar riff, and the song just kind of wrote itself, from there.
Right.
Yeah, the Hot Bang was just something that was kind of just floating around that we would kind of say, and ended up being the title for the album. We're like, we got to call it that. There's no other title.
It's catchy for sure. I mean, it's definitely something that grabs your attention. So.
Yeah, it's definitely perfect.
Now, what singles do you have out now off of this album?
What single?
Yeah, what single? Yeah.
Well, I'd say the most recent, I guess the most recent or the current single would probably be "I Want Your Love." That's the most recent video that we have, and yeah. But the most recent track that we actually recorded would be the cover for These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Right. That's great. I like that one too. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was we put that together. That's been really fun we kind of did our own arrangement on it, and that's always really fun to play live.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I can imagine. I'm crazy about all the songs off of this. If I had to choose one, I think Get It Right is my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
Get It Right's your favorite?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, man, that's so tough. I don't know. Like, I really love the whole thing. But oh God, a favorite. Man, let me think about that. Hot Bang is always that's a great one. Talk About the World is really fun. I Want Your Love has done really well for us, obviously, so that's kind of obvious choice, and Let's Get It On. I don't know, man. That's that's always a tough one for me to pick out. I love them all for for different reasons,
right.
So, but if I was to skip around, like if I popped the disc in and skip around, if I did skip around, and I think I definitely hit Talk About the World and Wasted, and I Want Your Love, and Hot Bang. Definitely those four probably jump out to me. Let's Get It On, those 4 or 5.
I always ask that question, because, a lot of people are like, I just can't choose, which I understand that completely. And sometimes whenever, you'll catch somebody off guard when they'll go to say, that they like the whole album or it changes day to day, and then they'll automatically say, well, I guess it's this song. So that kind of happened with you too.
Yeah, it's really hard. I get, I love what we do, so it's, and it's just hard for me to go through and be like, oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, I love them all for different reasons, various reasons.
Great. Now, if you had to pick one of the songs off of this album that captures the essence of the band as a whole, which song would you pick for that?
Oh, man, that'd probably be the title track.
There you go.
You know what? Hot Bang or Let's Get It On. That's pretty much the essence of the band.
Now, other than the New England Rock Festival, do you have any other upcoming shows you can share with us?
Oh yeah, totally. Our tour starts on August 7th.
Okay.
And our tour runs from August 7th to the 25th, so it's 18 days or whatever. We're doing 14 shows in an 18-day span. So we start off here in Waterloo, Iowa, August 7th, and then we go up to Minneapolis. And then we actually come back to Iowa for a couple of shows, and then from there we head east. We hit Chicago and Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, and then we get to Chicopee, Massachusetts for New England Rock Fest. And then we hit Philadelphia after that, and then we head back. We actually hit Chicago again, and then we go up to Wisconsin, and then we end it all back here in Iowa. So.
Well, if you ever come to Pittsburgh, make sure you look me up, because I'm clear across the state from Philly. So.
You know what? We were hoping to land something in Pittsburgh, but it didn't happen. At least not yet. But you never know. Hey, you never know. But you know what? We'll probably be going through Pittsburgh after the. You should just come to the Philadelphia gig. That's only across state.
Yeah. Me in a 5-hour drive in a car does not work.
Is it 5 hours across state? I don't even know.
From where I'm at, I'm almost in Ohio, so it's a jaunt for.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Well, we'll be coming right through your backyard. So
yeah.
So.
Actually, you'll be riding on Interstate 80, which actually you'll go over the tallest bridge this side of the Mississippi River, and the little town below is where I live.
Oh, great! I'll probably have an anxiety attack.
Beep.
I'll have an anxiety attack going over the bridge.
Oh, the bridge is amazing. It's beautiful.
How close to Cleveland are you?
I'm about say about 3 hours. So that's feasible. Cleveland would be feasible.
3 hour. Hey, you know what? The Cleveland show is on I believe it, if I remember, that's August 15th, which is Carly's birthday. So.
Well, there you go.
There you go. You better come up with that one.
Now, I read that you guys are going to have a new album coming out in the fall. Is that right?
No, I don't think that's going to happen in the fall.
No.
We do have a lot of material written for the next album. It was originally kind of talked about. We were hoping, because we're actually playing Rock and Skull Festival again this October.
Yes.
And that's in Illinois.
Yeah.
So kind of originally we were kind of talking about hoping to have maybe the next album ready to go for that, but you know it's already August. That's not going to happen. So
Right.
we're still going to be working hot bang, for probably the rest of the year. And realistically, it'll be next year before we do the next record. But we're really excited about that. We have a bunch of material for that, and we've been playing some of the stuff live, and it's great. It's going over really well, so we're excited about that.
I can't wait. I'm excited for it myself.
Yeah, we got some fun. It's gonna be a fun rock album for sure.
I'll tell you, Rock and Skull is one of my favorite festivals. I was there in 2015. I'm friends with Johnny Gioeli from Hardline, and I had driven. Well, I didn't drive. My best friend and my son and I drove 9.5 hours to see him for an hour.
Road trips are always the best. You should come this year.
They are okay, but when I had, like I said, I have MS, and for me, it's just such it's painful after that. So I try to stick close to kind of home, but Cleveland's feasible, definitely feasible.
Sorry you gotta deal with that crap.
Yeah, no worries. It's it is what it is. Just gotta go through every day.
Yeah, Cleveland's a little closer for you. That'd be rad if you came out for that.
Now, if you could go back in time and when the band formed, what advice would you have given to your band?
When the band was formed, what advice would I give?
Yeah, what would you have told your band back when it all got started? What to look for as you grew as a band, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry.
What advice would I give the band when we started?
Yeah. That you could apply now.
What's that?
That you could apply now to the band.
That I could apply now. We've always just kind of, it's always this thing has always been, let's just get out there and play as much and write songs and get noticed and all that. I think we're probably now, I'd say we're, obviously being with a record label that takes a lot of, there's, a lot of pressure off us because of that. Having somebody kind of in our corner, doing that end of it is definitely nice. I don't know. I think we've gotten better with like some of the business stuff. We've tightened up that a little bit, and tightened up our just kind of with our live performance. I think we've arranged our set to be a little more cohesive and just a little tighter, and the way we deliver our show, I think that's something that we've definitely have worked on. I don't know if that answers your questions at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. I mean, I think it was the way I asked it. I guess I was more or less kind of asking, like, what advice would you have given the band early on that you could have applied now? But you said exactly what you said. You tightened up your different aspects of the band, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that'd probably be the advice, like, because when something's fresh like that and new, obviously there's a lot of loose ends, and I think, going into that, it's just kind of something that we've definitely developed over the last couple of years.
If you had the chance to collaborate with anyone, whether it be a past, somebody we is no longer here, or somebody currently, who would you pick?
For myself or for the band?
Well, either way, you can do both.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. I think like as far as someone current, I think like Lizzie Hale would be amazing, or like a band like the Struts. I love that band. You go back and then there's artists like Joan Jett. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan, so writing something with like Nikki Sixx, would be amazing. Something like that. So yeah, I mean, those are probably the ones that kind of come to mind first.
That's cool. After this, I'm going to send you a message. I need to show you something and tell you all about it. It's regarding Nikki Sixx, but we'll finish the interview first.
Oh, very cool.
Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans and our listeners that we didn't get a chance to cover in this interview today?
Yeah, just you can follow us. Check us out on Facebook. And some people misspell the name. Our name actually has an extra U in it, kind of like the Fleetwood,
right?
The Fleetwood Mac album. So yeah, look us up. We're all over social media. Facebook and Instagram. The Rumours, and you can purchase Hot Bang, the physical CD. You can purchase at Kivel Records, the Kivel Records store online, and you can go to boonsoverstock.com, and you can also go to nehrecords.com, and those three sites right there are the main ones that you can find our if you want the physical CD for Hot Bang.
Awesome. Well, Daniel, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat it up with me today. It has really been a pleasure. For all of our listeners out there, you have to check out the Rumours album, Hot Bang. It'll be on the lookout for another album here early next year, maybe. Fingers crossed. This is Misti-Dawn with the Manamal Streaming Radio. You have a great evening.